Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Redshirt Down, and this is the series, Trash to Treasure, where I show you just how easy it can be to build your first cube. This is my second week of trying this video style, so I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. As we discussed last time, this is going to be a commander cube. Color identity matters, legendary creatures are a must. 8-player draft with 4-player pods. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for me, but I'm excited to get started. Much like in our black section, our red commander choices are fairly limited. We'll have to run them all, but at least most of them are fairly open-ended. First, we have Annex, hardened in the Forge. Exactly what I was just mentioning, any red deck would be happy to have this in the command zone. Next up, Captain Ripley Vance. Probably won't shine in this environment. It's looking to do storm-type things. It's not a bad body though, and only needing 1 red pip is an upside. I even found a couple of creatures to make this a bit easier, but it's still more of a dream than anything else. Go Shintai of Ancient Wars is the next 3-drop commander we're going to look at. Small synergy with the Go Shintai of Lost Wisdom, which we've already cut. Maybe we'll bring it back with a little more shrine support, but either way, I'm going to be playing this one. Lastly, for the commanders, we've got Valduk, Keeper of the Flame, a favorite of mine from Dominaria Draft. It's the typical Voltron-style commander, looking to get suited up and deal big damage. This one even has the benefit of going wide as well as tall. In red, we also opened one background, Tavern Brawler. Also not asking much of the drafter, it'll confer 1 extra card per turn, as well as an attacking buff. Next up, creatures that affect multiple opponents. As expected, most of them deal damage to your opponents. Luckily, that'll end the game real quick if unanswered. First on the docket, the Spellslinger Pingers. We weren't lucky enough to open a Gutter Snipe, but did get Thermo Alchemist and a couple of friends. Fine for the base of a multiplayer Spellslinger deck. Next, we've got the Punishers. Scytheclaw Raptor punishes players when it's not their turn, and Furnace Punisher can make players a bit less greedy with their mana base. It's no price of progress, but not much is. Lastly, we've got a class of creature that thrive in multiplayer. Null Warband has Myriad, allowing it to attack all of your opponents at once. Scourge of Gaia Reach is just a big dumb idiot who powers up the stronger your opponent's boards are. Goblin Racketeer comes stapled to another fun multiplayer mechanic, Goad. This mechanic forces your opponents to attack, and won't be targeting you until it's heads-up magic. Another core identity in red are your Flametongue Kavus, creatures that come into play and off another. While we didn't get the King of Cube itself, we found its child, a couple that care about creature types, and one that's slow and repeatable, but asks you to put in the legwork first. As I already mentioned in a previous episode, I'm not building a Kindred cube, but I am going to pay attention to creature types a bit. New players tend to gravitate towards sticking a bunch of the same creature types into a deck. Hell, 4 of the top 6 commanders right now are based around creature types. As you'd expect, red has a lot of goblins and elementals with a few dragons. But the 2 surprising creature types I found were vampires and dinosaurs. Vampires are great for us. It ties us into a 2-color archetype for Rakdos, so as long as the cards are playable outside of that Kindred deck, they're an easy include. Dinosaurs are a different matter entirely. We've only got a couple right now, but if it'll happen, it'll be with the green cards. I do want to shout out a specific dino for a minute. When Rampaging Raptor was revealed, I thought it'd be the next great red 4-drop. It's got text, not unlike Questing Beast. where it has Planeswalker Trample. Unfortunately for me, it was too slow for red at the time, and by the time that rotation came around, they'd already printed a better 4-drop, one that still doesn't see play. Lastly, for typal synergies, I found the Vent Sentinel, a wall that cares about other walls. Stop me if you've heard this before. While I'm not explicitly planning out filling that deck, if we find enough incidental synergies, we may as well include this as a 1-card archetype. When it comes to glue cards, Sokinzan Smelter feels like a great all-in-one card. It sacrifices artifacts and makes artifact tokens that have haste. By supporting many different types of decks at once, it's sure to be a card fought over by your drafters. I also opened a Cyclops of Eternal Fury. It's no Urabrask or Perforos, but he's trying his best. As mentioned previously, I always like to support Abiding Grace when we're including it. In red, I did find a couple of goodies, and as you would imagine, most are about dealing damage. Cacophony Scamp and Torch Courier both have a self-sacrifice clause, letting you get value even if your opponents are trying not to kill them. And Goblin Arsonist, while needing a sacrifice outlet, does ping anything annoying to you, be it a creature, planeswalker, or player. Outside of all that, I found basically what you'd expect in the red section. Rummagers, cards that care about artifacts, and Hasty Boys. A good haul for the color. This time around, we've got 2 battles to look at. The first is Invasion of Mercadia, a tormenting voice with upside. While not the cheapest you can find this effect, it's just fine. If you're able to attack it down, however, you get a Spell Shaper Token Factory. Not too bad when the investment is just 2 mana. The second one I found is Invasion of Regatha. This one's a little more niche, as I don't really want to spend 3 mana to deal 4 damage to an opponent. But if we're running a battle suite, this is a surefire way to flip another of them for free. The backside's nothing to dismiss either, as it makes all of your shocks and lightning strikes better. Once again, we did get a War of the Spark uncommon planeswalker, Tibalt. Way better than the OG, this guy actually has a use in this environment. The hardest counter to a burn strategy is life gain, and with 3 opponents that'll shut us down hard. Protect this Tibalt, and you'll have your opponents in the single digits in no time. To kick off the artifact section are 2 red equipment. Both would have likely seen play without Valduk, but are much more powerful with him. The next is Sigils Lattice. It's another tormenting voice, but, much like Petroleum, it's a good use for your dead dinos. The last I'd like to shout out is Dowsing Device, an artifact that gives a fairly minor buff whenever it or another artifact enters. But, if you're in an artifact deck and able to flip it, it becomes a land that gives a potential attacker a wrecking ball to beat your opponents with. I found a few really cool enchantments, especially for a multiplayer game. The first is an ad hoc removal spell. Buff your opponent's strongest creature while ensuring it's wielded as a weapon against mutual opponents. Great for any stage of a commander game. Sulfuric Vortex is a staple of the format, played in over 20,000 cubes. Again, a great way to shut off life gain and move the game forward. Lastly, Footfall Crater. I always like to have some sort of free haste enabler. Excellent way to score some surprise damage. It being a land enchantment, as well as easy enough to cycle away, makes this one of the better options I could have uncovered. Much like in black, in red, there's spells that deal damage. 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 I did find the first ritual. Probably not worth running by itself, but I'm tossing it in for now for the captain. We might even copy it in Magical Christmas Land. We've even got some land destruction. I don't think there'll be any in this cube worth destroying, but it's a fun idea. A couple more combat tricks, and we've pretty much finished red. I think that this section feels strong, and I'm glad that the 4-player pod is still going to only have 25 life. Red being strong makes the whole cube strong. But now it's time to make some cuts. If you'd like to join me, I'm going live on Friday, September 12th at 7 p.m. EDT. I'd love to have you join and add in your opinion. I haven't heard back from our other Trash to Treasure winner. As I said, I'm just going to throw this thing into my eBay store. I'm going to give the auction week, at which time someone is going to have this cube in their hands. If you'd like that to be you, I've left the link as the top down below. As for this cube, I'd like to give it away too. So don't forget to leave a comment on any video in the series, and you'll be entered to win this cube for free. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you catch each new video as they premiere. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.